Welcome to Voice Over Work, an audiobook sampler. Where do you listen? Today is Monday, November 20th, 2023. Today's audiobook preview is for Peter Hollins' book, Genius Thinking. In this book, Hollins draws on cutting-edge research in psychology, neuroscience, and business to reveal the 7 essential skills that all geniuses possess. These skills are creative thinking, critical thinking, curiosity, problem-solving, self-awareness, grit, and adaptability. Each of these skills is defined and identified, and we're also taught ways to develop them in our own lives. Thanks for joining us today. This is the audiobook preview of Peter Hollins' book, Genius Thinking. What is a genius? Perhaps the first answer that pops into your mind is the popular depiction of geniuses in TV shows. You know the kind. Smart-talking, slightly arrogant black sheep who seem to solve the crime or win the chess tournament without breaking a sweat. People have always been fascinated with genius and with the ability to wield superior intellectual mastery. Whether we admire geniuses in the arts, science, or business, there's something so irresistible about the idea of a human being operating at their fullest potential. If you've picked up this book, it's likely that you too are interested in what exactly sets geniuses apart. Are they just born that way, and us mere mortals can do nothing but look on in admiration? Or perhaps there is no such thing as genius at all, only years of punishing, diligent hard work that pays off eventually? In this book, we're going to take the perspective so often adopted by geniuses themselves. We're going to approach the idea of intellectual mastery and success as our topic, and study it as Einstein studied physics. In other words, we'll become students of human success and look closely not into any one subject, but into the way we think about those subjects and how we can optimize our learning and abilities. We'll observe, take notes, and see what we can learn from the great thinkers of our time. And there's a lot to learn for those who are willing to pay attention. What genius can you think of off the top of your head? In this book, we'll look at the lives and works of people like Socrates, Einstein, Descartes, Darwin, and Copernicus, among others. Despite living in different cultural and historical periods, and despite having different interests and ideas, these men in fact share a surprisingly predictable set of personal characteristics. So, what are these traits? Before you carry on reading, close this book and see if you can zoom in on just one or two qualities or attributes that you think make the essence of a genius. Intellectual curiosity. Chances are you thought of something along the lines of, a genius is intellectually hungry and curious about everything. No matter the chosen outlet, intelligent and highly conscious people tend to want to know why. It's this active, deliberate perspective that sets them apart from others who are happy to take things as they are, without ever looking more deeply into them. When we're children, we're perhaps more like natural geniuses than at any other time in our lives. We are the proverbial learning sponges, soaking everything up, asking a million questions a day, wanting to know how things work just for the joy of having that knowledge. When we grow up, adults around us indoctrinate us into certain educational conventions and institutions that dull this natural curiosity. We learn the rules, the right answers, and which authority to defer to. In other words, we stop relying on our own innate fascination with the universe around us. For a genius, curiosity never seems to subside. No matter how old they are, they seem to have a knack for looking at the world with the wonder of a little child seeing it all for the first time. They are enraptured by things that You've reached the end of another episode of Voice Over Work and Audiobook Sampler. Where do you listen? Connect with us at newtonmg.com and take a moment to connect with the author, Peter Hollins, at his website at bit.ly/Peter Hollins. Join us next Monday for the chapter-by-chapter preview of this book.